Hello. This video is going to be a little bit different. I wanted to showcase this really cool tool that my friend has been building called SFX Stacks. It's kind of like an AI powered library browsing tool. From my point of view, it's much more of a kind of creative tool. It's not there to really replace SoundMiner or even Reaper's Media Explorer, but it's just more like a creative way of browsing for source and those kind of happy accidents that we keep talking about. I'm not gonna do like a whole like walkthrough of how everything works, and I've not used it that much yet myself either, so I'm surely gonna get some things not right, but there's good documentation on the website, so you can check it out from there. It's got a 2-week free trial if you want to give it a go, and Atte, the developer, is super responsive and is actively looking for feedback from the audio community. So if you do check it out, I highly recommend just reaching out, asking for features, giving feedback. It's gonna help a ton. But yeah, let's maybe do like a demo design, or I'm just gonna quickly kind of show how I think this is gonna be super powerful. And especially for like when you have your own libraries, one maybe bit of a downside is that you need to obviously scan all of your libraries, and if you have terabytes of stuff, that just might take, like an overnight scan. And at least to me, it makes more kind of sense to do like these targeted searches that, for example, I really like the sound of Creatures, my own library. I know what it sounds like, and I want to use this for something that the metadata doesn't allow. So we've not tagged all of the sounds with the possible synonyms or keywords, that are out there, but this will kind of help you find what you normally would not find. Let me demonstrate. So for example, I say I'm working on a sci-fi game. I want to make an explosion, but one of the things that are like the most boring thing in this job is like, oh, I want an explosion. Let me just type explosion in the Media Explorer here, and then I get explosions. It's a little bit predictable, and you don't get that many like creative choices. So now, for example, I'm gonna search only from my creature library, which doesn't have any sounds that are intended to be used in an explosion. And I'm just gonna type in explosion, and it's gonna give me what the AI thinks. So it's been trained on sounds and their keywords, and it supposedly knows what an explosion sounds like based on that data. And now from my library, which doesn't have any explosion sounds, it's gonna try to find like, okay, I think this is the closest thing that sounds like an explosion. So let's see what kind of results we get. So I mean, I think a lot of these are usable. So and there's a couple of ways to kind of operate this thing. So it gives you a certain clip, same file, but these two variations, according to the AI mastermind, even though these are quite similar, are the best matches for an explosion. And you can set up kind of like a a project here. So let's say explosion, and you can basically like bookmark these into there, so you know what to kind of bring into your session. And then from here you can bring in the whole file, or you can just bring in that snippet, which I'll do this. Maybe it could be a cool thing to be able to export or like import all of these snippets into the session. I'll have to forward that feedback. Ah, wrong button. All of that in here, and I don't know, just for the fun of it, let's try and layer these together and see if we get some kind of an explosion. I think these definitely are gonna need a little bit beefing up. Okay, maybe not the best, but it would take me either quite a long time, or I would have to be very kind of know the library well to be able to browse for that stuff. But it gives you a really cool, quick way to find these sounds that you normally kind of wouldn't come across, I guess. Yeah, obviously would need quite a lot of more processing or anything, but it's it could be a cool layer like that. And design wise, I guess, well, let's actually try it here on the Mattia stuff. Maybe again from the animal libraries, we'll try and find an explosion sound from there. Or maybe thunder. That could be a cool tail. And then, yeah, another thing that I think it's going to be very powerful for is going to be like creatures, where you kind of want to search almost by the emotion, or, well, for example, from the creatures library, I did not record any cats, but let's say I'm working on a creature and it's about the size of a cat. I can type in cat. It'll find me a bunch of stuff that it kind of thinks that sounds like a cat. Or you can kind of go by like this is valid for a meow, I think. And like a cry. Or pain. I have a lot of human stuff, which is, I guess, the most obvious one. Go down the list, it'll give you more varied results. Or, let's see, I don't know, metal groans and slams. I want to find like a dragon from here. And obviously the results just depend on what the library has. So not everything is going to work out. Could be dragon wings for sure. And this is kind of how I like to use it. That it's more these kind of individual searches or more targeted towards one library. And then, yeah, just searching a library that is not intended for that use. See what you get. Also for creatures is super powerful in the sense that it has the semantic search. So you can, let's say I have found a perfect sound or like a texture that I enjoy, and like I just want more of this. That sound is from my library, but from everything that Mattia has done or that I have, I can just drag and drop and actually I think the semantic search just does it on all of the sources. And this was the source that we were searching. So I think these are very similar. Yeah, even from like Mattia's libraries, it's finding stuff that is crackly, stuttery. So that's really, really powerful for trying to find like similar textures and kind of combining them and finding more variations basically. But sometimes you might have one perfect, like a tonal call or something like that, or a scream, whatever, and you want to find more of the similar ones. It's really powerful for stuff like that. But yeah, that's kind of like a quick rundown how I see it being very, very powerful and creative, and just another tool to use. Give it a go if you want. 2 weeks free trial. Please do forward any feedback or feature requests to the developer. I'm sure he would be very happy to hear what you guys think. All right.